We're going to answer a couple of your tax questions, staying with our theme of tax this week. Suresh Surana joins us now to take a few of those questions. Suresh, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Our first question comes in from Vinay. He's retired and he wants to invest 3 lakh rupees with a time horizon of 5 years. He wants to know where to invest this money so he can get a tax benefit plus about 10% returns per annum. Suresh.
Yes, Mr. Vinay, one of the possibilities you can look at is to invest in the fixed maturity plans. The fixed maturity plan essentially are close-ended debt schemes. So in turn, the investment will be in either the money market instruments or interest-bearing securities. Typically, these are giving a return of around 10% and you have a 13-month kind of maturity period. So if you invest in, let's say, in March 2013 now, the maturity will happen in April 2014. So it will fall in the third financial year. While you are making investment in financial year 12-13, your redemption is happening in financial year 14-15. As a result, you will get benefit of indexation for 2 years, which typically would mean that it will be more than 10% and therefore you will not pay any tax on this return. So effectively it will give you a more than 10% tax-free return. The second possibility you can look at is invest in National Savings Certificate 8th issue, where you will get a return of about 8.8% and you will also get deduction of rupees 1 lakh under section 80C.
Our next question comes in from Ashish, who writes in from Delhi. He wants to know if he can offset the capital losses from his trading account against the securities transaction tax that he has to pay. Is that possible, Suresh?
So Ashish, in case of long-term capital gain on which STT is paid, there is no tax. Similarly, on long-term capital loss on which STT is paid, as such, you cannot really claim any set-off. The only thing you can do that if you are having a long-term capital loss and if you don't sell the security on the stock exchange, but if you do an off-market transaction, then that loss is eligible for set-off. So the only option for you is to really do an off-market transaction, in which case you will be able to set off the same against any other long-term capital gain from sale of residential property or any other capital asset.
We have one last question from Subhash, who's written in. He wants to know what tax implications there will be in terms of capital gains on a Hindu undivided family if they sell inherited property. He also wants to know, Suresh, if there's any way to minimize that tax implication.
So Subhash, as you may be aware that the Hindu undivided family is treated as a separate taxable entity. So first of all, you get the separate basic exemption and ATC deduction for HUF, just like for an individual. In case of a property which is owned by HUF, whatever is the period of the previous holding will also be considered for the purpose of treating it as a long-term capital asset, and cost also to the previous owner will be taken as cost in your case. So if you sell the property and it has been held for more than 3 years, it will be long-term capital gain. Now, in case of a residential house, if you are owning a residential house, then and if you sell it after 3 years, then the long-term capital gain, if they are reinvested in purchase of another residential house, so under section 54 you can claim exemption. The new house has to be purchased within 2 years of the date of sale of the previous house or constructed within 3 years of the date of sale of previous house. Similarly, under section 54 EC, if you invest the capital gains in the National Highway Authority bond or rural electrification bond, up to rupees 50 lakhs you can claim the exemption.